Good morning, Raptor Freaks. Lexiot's here, and we are watching a couple games today. We got a double header, hopefully for a double W on the day, because the Raptors are playing at 3:30 at Scotiabank Arena against Steph Curry and the Golden State Warriors. And then at 7:30, the Raptors 905 will play the Maine Celtics in the second game of a back-to-back doubleheader that they played yesterday. The first game beating the Maine Celtics, and we'll react to that game from yesterday, and we'll preview both the games today. Triple duty for the stream today. Three different things we got to cover, and we'll get right on it. Yeah. All right. Let me see. We'll start with previews because I like to start with the day, and we'll go back and review the Raptors 905 game last night. A very victorious rout, a game that a lot of us watched because we were all in the stream watching on the YouTube channel and interacting with each other. Monique, Isaac, Neil, just a bunch of us. A lot of the Raptor freaks are watching every 905 game, and they are in there supporting that team night in, night out as the 905 continue their perfect season. Just that one loss in the championship game, which does not count to their record. So now that they're 3-0 as of last night, they'll take their perfect record against the Maine Celtics once again and try and beat them once again tonight after the Raptors game against the Warriors. So you can have a double header of Raptors basketball today. If you're into it, you can watch both games going into the evening. That's right. It's good stuff. All right, let's go ahead and do the latest lineup news for the Toronto Raptors hosting the Golden State Warriors on their annual visit coming to Toronto and Scotiabank. The Warriors have been off since Thursday. They played on Thursday, which was Christmas Day, and beat the Dallas Mavericks. And then they did that in Golden State. So they've traveled to the East in the last few days, had a nice 2 days between to travel and make it here in the easy time. So, yeah, the Warriors, when they usually come to Toronto, they lose, just so you know. This is a game that is very gettable. I know a lot of people are down on the Raptors right now, overreacting, being crazy, talking about we should fire Darko, all this stuff, acting all stupid and immature. But understand that in some ways we're game to win this game today a little bit better than we win in the game on Friday. And does that make any sense to a casual NBA fan? No, because they're idiots and they only think one thing in their head and they just stick to it the whole time, not realizing that the league is ever changing and things are always changing in the league. And that, in some ways, the Warriors, even though they've won 3 in a row right now, are a 500 team. They are one game above 500 right now, and they are not all that in a bag of chips. Let's just put it that way. They've been having a little bit of infighting recently. There was a big controversy with Steve Kerr and Draymond Green kind of getting into it with each other in a very visible way. And, there's things that are weird. Like they should be way better than they are because they've got Jimmy Butler and other things going on with them, but they're not performing as well as they should. So not everything is all nice and happy in Warriors land. In fact, a lot of Golden State fans are acting out of pocket, just like Toronto Raptors fans right now, with overreacting and getting all crazy. I'm going to say this. This may just be a phenomena of bots and just idiot morons on social media at this point, that none of this noise even matters because it's just generated by nothing. Seriously, I think that every NBA team, all 30 teams now, have a certain bot army involved in their social media that is absolutely negative and stupid. If these are real people, you're idiots. Go find something else to do with your time. Seriously, I'm just sick of it. All right, here's the injury report. And there is very good news. RJ is not just out. He's not out, guys. He is not out today. They have changed his official status as questionable, which means he could play today, guys. And honestly, I'm kind of expecting Rowan Barrett Jr. to show up and make his return to the Raptors lineup today, guys, against the Golden State Warriors. Yeah, I'm kind of expecting this because honestly, he's not totally out. This is the first time since he's been missing that he has had this status. He is questionable for today. That is technically what RJ is. He is questionable, which means the question could be, yes, he's playing all of a sudden at 3:30 this afternoon. So be ready for that. Jakob Pertl is ruled out, though. There will be no Yak. That is for sure. And Colin Murray Boyles is still questionable due to his sickness, being sick. So get well, young man. You're a youngster. You should rebound quickly, literally rebound quickly on the court and rebound quickly from your illness. So come on, Colin Murray Boyles, get better and stop being sidelined because of a flu. Ooh, come on, man. Man up. Get that chicken noodle soup. You should never miss more than one game when you're sick, unless you're really, really sick. And in some ways, come on, bro. You saw Scotty man up and get on the court on Friday. You could do the same, youngster, out of South Carolina. So I'll just say this. I'm speculating the starting lineup for the Raptors today. I'm going to guess it's Emmanuel Quickly, Brandon Ingram, Scotty Barnes, Sandro Mamukelashvili, and RJ Barrett. That's right. I said it. I think RJ's going to be playing today, guys. I'm going to say it again. Watch the Raptors freak be right once again, too. All right, the Warriors, they have injuries on their side of things, and this is who they got out. LJ Cryer is ruled out due to a low back strain. He's day-to-day. Maybe he's playing. He's a two-way. It's not as huge of a deal what happens with him. We don't need to necessarily watch out for him. Seth Curry, the brother of Steph Curry, is ruled out for today's game against the Raptors due to a sciatica nerve irritation. DeAnthony Melton is ruled out for the game today due to a knee injury. And Brandon Podziemski is probable for today's game due to abdomen strain. So, yeah, he's probably going to play. So who are the Warriors this year? This is the first time we're seeing them. Their only time they're going to come to Toronto, and we'll see them on a West Coast road trip in the new year. Steph Curry is the starting point guard for the Warriors still. Moses Moody at shooting guard. Jimmy Butler III at small forward. Draymond Green, power forward, and the young Quentin Post at center. So that's their starters. Off the bench, Florida's Florida Gator Will Richard, best friend of Elijah Martin, is their first guard off the bench. As I said, Pods should be available, so he should be in this lineup too. Al Horford, the veteran champion of the Boston Celtics, is on this team as their backup big. Trace Jackson Davis, the son of Dale Davis, is on this team. Also, Pat Spencer, the weird guy who looks like a salesman or some sort of, he just looks like an ordinary dude you'd see at Home Depot or something like, or not Home Depot, Home Hardware. You see him at Home Hardware. You see him out in the mall. It's like he's with his family. That's what Pat Spencer looks like to me. Gary Payton II, former Raptor 905er, another legacy player. There's a lot of legacy players on this team between the Curry brothers, Davis and Payton and all these guys. All these guys had dads that played in the NBA. Also, Buddy Hield is on this team still. Buddy Hield has not really been playing a whole lot, though. This is interesting. It seems like they would use him as a weapon, but for some reason he's lost favor in getting minutes in the lineups. Buddy Hield. Guy Santos is also still on this team. And Jonathan Kuminga, buried in the depth chart. It looks like he's barely playing for them right now, and everything is just weird about Jonathan Kuminga. It's been weird this summer, and, well, it's still weird into this place because Jonathan Kuminga is basically the Warriors' Chris Boucher right now, guys. Just so y'all know. I told y'all, man, you can be a talented player. If you're a knucklehead, if you're an idiot in your brain as far as what you think you are and in your place in the world, you will get fucked up and not be having a good career. Trust me. And Kuminga is kind of a symbol of this. Seriously. See, as I said, they've won their last 3 straight. ESPN has declared that we have a 42% chance of winning this game, that they have a better chance, that they're 58 to 42 is the split with what they think as far as ESPN. So, yeah, I think that we could actually do really well and win this game, guys. I think this is one of these weird things where we lose to the Wizards on Friday and we go beat the Warriors on Sunday, and then Raptors Nation shuts the hell up and being out of pocket and stupid the last couple days. So I think that really is kind of what's going to happen, guys. I'll predict this right now. Our crew is very good for today, guys. In fact, let me go over them next. First, we'll do the crew for the 905 game later on tonight. Chris Castine Evans is the crew chief for 905 at Paramount Fine Food Center, 7:30 tip-off. Number 11, Castine Evans. The referee is Eric Alig, number 4. And the umpire will be Kelsey Reynolds, number 15. That's for Maine Celtics at Raptors 905. 7:30 is the tip. And the replay center for the NBA It will be Brian Forte, Derek Collins, John Butler, and Tyler Ricks. And on the ground for the Raptors in person in the 3:30 afternoon game at Scotiabank Arena with the Golden State Warriors, Bill Kennedy is our crew chief. Bill Kennedy, number 55, out of Phoenix, Arizona, in his 28th season, loves Luther Vandross. He loves to eat some filet mignon and a good bottle of red. He'd like to visit Jerusalem. His bucket list is to see the Egyptian pyramids, and his hidden talent is karaoke. Yeah, Bill Kennedy's awesome. We love Bill Kennedy. Bill Kennedy considers his most memorable NBA assignment to be his first NBA Finals game, Game 3 between the Celtics and the Lakers in 2010. Yeah, we've had Bill twice this year already. And, well, no, actually once. We've only had him once this year so far. And, well, we won that game. We won that game. We win 56% of our games in the history of Bill Kennedy refereeing Raptors. And meanwhile, the Warriors win 53%. So 56-53 for the Raptors with the crew chief, Bill Kennedy, tonight. He is the best ref for the Raptors today, just so you guys know. He is the best ref, the crew chief, which is good. You want, if one of the refs is on your side, you want it to be the crew chief. That's for sure. The second ref is going to be Justin Van Dyne today, guys. Number 64 out of Arcadia, California, in his 12th season. He likes the show Entourage. He watches the Bourne movies. His favorite musician, Jimmy Allen. His favorite book is Moneyball. He likes to eat sushi. His favorite app is the Chive. He'd most like to visit Ireland, and his bucket list is to visit every MLB stadium. Justin Van Dyne joined the NBA officiating staff after 4 seasons as a ref in the NBA G League. He also officiated in numerous collegiate conferences, including the Big West, Mountain West, Pac-12, West Coast, and Western Athletic. Justin Van Dyne is a former police officer in California, and we've had him twice this year so far, and we won both the games so far this year that Justin has refereed. We win 53% of our games when he is present, but the Warriors are his best team percentage-wise, and they win 66%. So 53-66 is the split for the Warriors with the second ref, Justin Van Dyne. The third ref tonight is Jenna Schroeder. Jenna Schroeder, number 20 in her 7th season out of Flint, Michigan. Her favorite TV show is 30 Rock. She likes the movie Dirty Dancing. She gets down to Bob Seger. She'd most like to visit Australia, and her bucket list is to see Billy Joel, Eric Clapton, and the Rolling Stones in concert. You better see them soon. I bet the only one that you can really kind of see now may be the Rolling Stones. It may be tough to see Eric Clapton and Billy Joel very soon. I think Eric Clapton has actually played some concerts recently, but I know the Stones are still going, Jenna. But you can't wait. You better call Ticketmaster now because you can't wait on this. Jenna Schroeder has officiated 235 regular season games in 6 seasons as an NBA staff official. We have not had Jenna this season yet in regular season. We had her in preseason, which is different. She's the worst ref for us today. We win 37% of our games. She's down in the Marat Kugat zone, which is not good. 37% winning. But the Warriors are just as bad with her. They win 36%. So 37-36 for the Raptors with the third ref, Jenna Schroeder. So, yeah, that's the refs. I mean, it's not a bad crew, honestly. Justin Van Dyne's been very fair to us this season. And Bill Kennedy's an on the up and up kind of head ref. So I like the crew. I think we'll get a fair shot. If we play hard, we play well, we do things right. Raptors, you should beat the Warriors today. It's just you need to play very, very well together and have multiple contributors from your lineup. And it's kind of like what they did in the 905 last night. The 905 had 7 guys get double digits last night. And they were masterfully attacking with all kinds of different weapons and players for the 905 versus Maine Celtics game last night. And, well, if you can use some of that strategy yourselves, Raptors, have multiple contributors and lots of different guys helping in different winning ways, you can beat the Warriors tonight. Trust me, you can. They are gettable. They're not everything that everybody thought they'd be. They're not the hyped up Warriors at the beginning of the season that's just going to be running the West. No, they're not. They are not. They have internal problems, and they are having issues. And, well, they're losing just as much as they're winning this season. They're literally one game above 500, just barely one game, 17-16 record for that team. We are a better record than them. So we need to beat the Warriors, is what I'm saying today. That's right. All right, let's see what you guys are saying in the chat. Trevor J's first in, Commissioner Fun, Trevor J. And he's saying at the end of life, what really matters is not what you brought, but what we built. Okay, that's weird. What you bought? Did you mean to see bought? Not what we got, but what we shared. Not our competence, but our character, and not our success, but our significance. Live a life that matters. I like that. I like that. I mean, there's a lot of materialism in today's society that's absolutely just stupid and it's baseless in any kind of substance. It's not really, it's just like if you find derivement of joy from objects, then you're a very shallow person. In some ways, it's not, unless you have something that really means something on a very deep level that is not financially linked to anything, because it's just something that sentimentally connects you to it, that's different. But if you're bragging because you own 30 properties and you have 2 yachts and you have a private jet and you have 30 cars and stuff like that, none of that shit means nothing. None of that means nothing. It just means that you're greedy. It just means that you're somebody that needs that to feel good about yourself. And that's shallow and hollow and sad, is what I would say right there. So, what matters in life is how you affect other people. And if you're affecting other people on the whole negatively because you're greedy as fuck and you don't give a shit about the rest of humanity and you're profiting off the misery of a society because you're taking healthcare from them, you're taking this clean water from them, if you're taking clean air from them, if you're taking housing from people, and you think you're so badass because you amassed some sort of wealth from that, you are a fucking piece of shit. And you know what? In some ways, you're gonna probably go to hell if you believe in heaven and hell. Seriously, you probably will, for not being Christ-like, for not being let's have everybody have a seat at the table. Instead, I build up a ivory wall and keep everybody away from me while I continue to subjugate them to systems that are not just to for my own ill-gotten gains. There, I just put it all right there. Thank you for your words of wisdom, Trevor J. Right there. That's right. Trevor's saying, happy game day. Let's get back to winning. For sure. I mean, I don't even think we're not that far from winning. I think that everybody's so stupid the way they overreact to the Raptors when they lose games, and that they need to just shut the hell up. Like, seriously, like I said, I think that there's just bot people. There's like a lot of dumbasses online that feel like they need to express themselves that probably should just stay away from the computer when the Raptors lose. People that are calling out for firing Darko, you're idiots. You're absolute dumbasses. People that want to fire Bobby, you're dumbasses too. People that want this and want that with the Raptors and think that it's this person's fault and that person's fault, just shut the hell up. Let them play their season and enjoy the basketball. You're a fan. You're not in charge of anything that has to do with the team, and you need to shut the hell up and just be a fan. Do you guys understand what the job description is for being a fan? It means watch the team, get entertained by the team, root for the team, support the team, and ride or die with the team, whether they win or lose. Some of y'all acting like you're some sort of like boss of them. And like, oh, you didn't do good. This is your performance report from me personally, who has no fucking clue about the real NBA or GMing or coaching. But I'm going to expose my opinion to y'all because I just feel like I'm more important than I really am. And I'm just going to fucking say this shit. And I know that's rich coming from a guy like me. But hey, in some ways, if you talk about this for 4 years, for 2 hours every day, in some ways, you become an expert on this. And a lot of people out there have not put in the time that old Lex has on the Raptors since they began in 1995, the very, very first year when Alvin Robertson hit the very first bucket for the Toronto Raptors franchise. A lot of y'all are out of pocket with you talking about the Raptors and what you think they should do because y'all aren't qualified and y'all need to shut the fuck up because you're fans and be fans, all right? Know your role, jabronis. Know your roles is what I'm saying to people today because I'm sick of it. All that unnecessary noise. You made me have to say I can't do Raptor Reddit reactions anymore because these people are stupid as fuck and there is no reason for me. I'm sorry, Common Crazy. There's lots of swearing on this Sunday because I'm sick of it. Raptors fans, you've been acting out of pocket for 2 days since the Washington Wizards game, and y'all need to shut up and just chill, all right? Chill out. I guess y'all are off work, so you have more time to be stupid and say all this shit because you're on the holidays. That's maybe why this shit is happening. It's crazy, man. And Trevor's bringing up something. We know this, Trevor. 905 continues to win. The sun comes up the next day because that's what Andrew Jones does. He wins basketball games as a coach. A very serious man. He's not wasting his life. In some ways, he just told us yesterday on the message, he said, I'm going to get the G League championship, Raptors freak. Yeah. And I believe him. I'm not going to say he's crazy to think that. No, this man's serious. And God willing, we get that team to stay together and not get torn apart for any kind of weird reason this season because of whatever, in some ways we want these guys to be successful and get called up. But also at the same time, we want to maintain the integrity and level of play that the Raptors 905 have established this season and has been so enjoyable to watch. Oh, it's so enjoyable to watch. I know Guardian Transit went to that game with his grandson yesterday, and they had a blast. Sat at courtside. I don't even have to ask him. I know that he had a blast at that game last night, and it was probably a core memory, something for his grandson to have forever. I remember that game I went to with my granddad when I saw the Raptors 905 after Christmas in 2025. I'll remember it for the rest of my life. That's that kind of stuff right there. Seriously, it doesn't matter it's G League. It's still amazing experience. And I know, hopefully Guardian Transit will circle back and let us know how it went last night. But I know that he had a good time last night. I'm not even questioning it. I know he had a good time last night. That's right. Sar played very good yesterday. Yes, let's do that. We'll do the stars of the game real quick since you brought it up. Alex Sar. Whoa, no, wait. Was that Alex Sar? No, it wasn't Alex Sar. It was his older brother, Olivier, Lex. But he looked like Alex Sar. I know he did, but it wasn't him. It was Olivier, Lex. And he got the chain, too, to boot. My number one star of the game, Olivier Sar. At halftime, he had 15 points. And he had a bunch of blocks, too. Man, this dude was awesome yesterday. I mean, listen, is this what happened, Olivier? The Raptors go to Washington. They play your brother. Your brother's playing them. And he's kind of like, whoa, man, the Toronto Raptors have some problems right now because we just beat them. Oh, yeah, I know. I watched the game. Yeah, listen, get your ass going, Olivier, because there's an opportunity here if you can get to play better. Seriously, if you start playing better, you might actually get called up. Really, Alex? Yeah, you dummy. Get going, bro. So Olivier shows up and he finally plays a good game for the Raptors 905. It's like, geez, he's had like 2 good games this season. Seriously. Most of the time he's getting in foul trouble. He's missing all his shots and Andrew benches him for the second half. That's seriously been the pattern for the most part this season. Because everybody keeps asking me, why don't we call up Olivier Sar? Why don't we call up Olivier Sar? It's because he's ass. It's because he's bad. And it's because he has been so bad that Andrew Jones can't even play him later in the game. But that wasn't the case yesterday. No, it wasn't. I don't know. It's like this man put on a switch or something. It's like this man all of a sudden became a serviceable big because he was actually playing defense. And he's actually rebounding. He actually was hitting his shots. I was like, wait a second. Whoa. Is this Alex Sar? No, it's Olivier Sar. And he's making it tempting. Now people all of a sudden in the chat are saying, should we call him up? Should we call him up? Oh, my gosh. I'm like, man, this seems like fool's gold. It seems like maybe this is just a blip on the radar. It's not necessarily established consistency from Olivier Sar, guys. I have to see more, Olivier. This is what I'm saying. You're going to play again today. If you could do this again, like what you did yesterday, the same production, maybe we're calling you up. But you need to do this at least today, if not another game against Westchester in a couple of days after this. We need to see this a little bit more consistently, and then maybe we'll call you up and bring you to Toronto Raptors and see if you can help our big man problem. But, yeah, I mean, it was crazy, man. He was so good yesterday. 28 minutes, 22 points on 8 of 9 shooting. He made both his three-point attempts. He was 2 of 3 at the free throw line, 9 rebounds, 2 assists and a turnover, 1 steal, 4 blocks, and a plus 22. Yeah, that's a nice stat line. 22, 9, and 4. As far as the big man stats, 22 points, 9 rebounds, 4 blocks. That's the stuff right there, Olivier. Are you going to waste your life? Or are you going to start waking up and doing more of this? Seriously, bro. It's on you, man. Figure it out. My second star of the game is Tyson Degenhart, y'all. We have a Tyson Degenhart fan club starting to build in the Raptors Freak family. I can tell people are coming in saying, what can we call him up? Can we put him on a 10-day Bobby Webster? Tyson Degenhart, because in some ways he's doing what Grady Dick's supposed to be doing on the G League level, almost perfect right now. Tyson, 26 minutes off the bench, 19 points, 8 of 11 shooting, 3 for 5 from 3, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, 0 turnovers, a block, a plus 24. Yeah. Yeah, just solid. Doesn't do more than he's asked. He's in these interviews after the game with Lindsey Dunn, and he's just like, "Yeah, I just do what they asked me to do." There's dumb questions. There's some guy out in 905 Strum that's really stupid, like asking questions. One of the reporters, he asked a really dumb question. He's like, "What made you get confidence recently?" And he asked Andrew Jones the same question. Why do you have confidence all of a sudden, Tyson? And Andrew Jones is like, "Whoa, what do you mean? What do you mean confidence?" He's a leading scorer from Boise State history. Like, he's always been confident. It's like, you dumbass, do your research. Like, saying stupid shit. Yes, the same reporter asked Olivier Sarr, what was it like to watch your brother play the Raptors last night? And like, he was confused. He thought the Raptors game was in Toronto and that Olivier Sarr was at the game. It's just like, man, reporters, stop being dumb. Do your research and ask better questions. Like, this dude had a bad question for all 3 of the interviews. Tyson Degenhart, same thing. He asked Olivier Sarr, is there a mental problem because you have an Achilles injury and you haven't gotten over it? Like, really stupid questions. Anyway, I digress. I'm going off topic. Tyson Degenhart, he's a scorer from college. In some ways, he's not as known for his defense, and in some ways, that's his focal point for what he's working on. Is he's working on his defense and staying in front of people and keeping them in between himself, in between them and the basket. And well, that's his big focus. He can score. It's nothing a problem with Tyson Degenhart scoring threes, and he's as Andrew Jones said, a great finisher at the rim, and all kinds of other things. It's just he's got to be a better defender, and that means maybe bulking up a little bit more with some more muscle. And also just being very heady and aware of placement and where to be at different times. But Tyson's a very smart basketball player, and he is developing, even if he's a role player off the bench and he's not a focal point like he was in Boise State. He is doing it what he does. He's doing what he's asked of, whether it's 3 minutes at the end of the game in garbage time or it's 28 minutes or like a game last night. So good job, Tyson Degenhart. You didn't get like one of the early, like I've been giving you the 5th star or the 4th star in games. You got the 2nd star today because you were like that. You were the 2nd best player on the 905 yesterday. Good job. My 3rd star of the game for 905's victory over Maine Celtics last night is Tyreek Key. And Monique asked last night in the chat, why is Tyreek Key not in the NBA? Well, he's undersized. He's not tall enough for his position. And in some ways, like Blackhawk said in the chat, there's just so many guards. There's an abundance of guards. You really have to stand out in some major ways to make the league at his body, at his size. So Tyreek, 25 minutes, 19 points, 8 of 15 shooting, 2 of 6 from 3. He hit his only free throw, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 turnover, a plus 30 for Tyreek Key, starting in the place of AJ Lawson, who was not available due to playing in Washington against the Wizards. Also, Jonathan was not there, and he didn't play either, and he was replaced by David Roddy in the starting lineup for the Raptors 905 last night. But yeah, as I said, the 905 had 7 guys in double digits, and these guys all shot pretty well. Like, you're hearing these, like Sarr, 8 for 9, Degenhart, 8 for 11, Tyreek Key, 8 for 15. That's good balance, man. That's good balance. And they were, it's crazy because at the end of the game, the Raptors 905 were winning by like almost 40 points. It's 125-92, the final. And, they can't put in a bench lineup to go easy on them because the bench is just as scary and nasty as the starters. So it's like at the end of the game, they're playing the end of the game and Degenhart's still out there because he's the guy who's supposed to be there in the end of the bench who's at that time. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. It's crazy. So, good job, 905, kicking their butt. My next star of the game, my 4th star of the game is AJ Hoggart. AJ Hoggart got those mandatory AJ minutes and points in the place of AJ Lawson, who was not available. AJ Hoggart went in there and he made sure we got the AJ quota. 20 minutes for AJ Hoggart, 12 points on 4 of 9 shooting, 2 of 4 from 3, made both his free throws, 6 assists with 2 turnovers, 1 steal, 1 block, a plus 11. AJ is supposed to be the 11th man on this team. You got Jaden Bediako at the end of the bench, and AJ Hoggart is the next guy at the end of the bench. But recently in games, he is earning more trust with Coach Andrew Jones. That AJ Hoggart ain't turning the ball over. He's making shots and he's playing solidly. This kind of came about because Chucky Hepburn got in foul trouble when those refs saddled him with early fouls in the championship game this past Monday. Andrew had to go to Hoggart because Chucky wasn't going to be able to play, and there was a bunch of empty minutes that are going to have to be filled. So they went to AJ Hoggart, and all of a sudden he's a door open for him, and he's getting more burn now, and he's actually been very consistent, so that now he's got more trust with the Coach Andrew Jones. So this is fantastic. In some ways, this is similar to last year with Evan Gilliard. Evan Gilliard started as a bench guard, and he ended up being the starter by the end of the year over Kennedy Chandler. So it's a very interesting path that AJ Hoggart is on right now, because you literally are seeing it from game to game. He's earning the trust of his coach, and he's getting more time, and he's getting a meritorious reward, merit for what he's doing. My last star of the game for the game last night is Jarkel Joyner. This is the kind of game where Jarkel can really shine because, the game's busted open, and he can just, at certain points, I was like, let him cook. Let Jarkel cook, because he's fun to watch as a scorer. In some ways, he's that JFL kind of guy, but he reins it in. He really plays within the team and the team's needs, and he's not a selfish guy going off script just for himself. But he can go selfishly off script for himself, but he's picking his times to do it, and he's not taking away from the overall team performance by that. And that's the difference between Jarkel Joyner, Javon Freeman Liberty, and Kennedy Chandler. That Jarkel Joyner knows when to call his own number and go off and just be selfish and try and score himself, and when not to. So salute to Jarkel Joyner. 22 minutes, 15 points, 7 of 15 from the field, 1 of 4 from 3, 4 rebounds, 5 assists, 0 turnovers, 1 steal, a plus 16. Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Honorable mention to our guy Elijah Martin, who started the game off with a flurry of scoring and really established the Raptors 905 towards winning last night. 28 minutes for Elijah, 12 points, 4 of 9 shooting, 1 of 3 from 3, 2 of 3 at the free throw line, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 turnovers, 2 steals, a plus 26. Also, Chucky was pretty good. He didn't shoot that great, but Chucky was okay. 27 minutes for Chucky, 13 points, 3 of 11 shooting, 1 of 6 from 3, 3 of 3 at the free throw line, 2 rebounds, 9 assists with 1 turnover, 4 steals for Chucky, and plus 16. David Roddy was the other starter. 25 minutes for him, 5 points. He had one of those monster left-handed jams where he just came to at the rim like it owed him some money, and he threw it down on it. 2 for 6 from the field for David. 1 of 2 from 3, 6 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 turnovers, a plus 10. Off the bench, Julian Reese was a lot of fun in the game last night. He's being a very big boy and doing big boy things and moving people around. 13 minutes for Julian on 4 points. He made 1 shot and he made 1 free throw. 4 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 turnover, 1 steal, a plus 5. He just didn't get that much time. And I feel like part of it is it's not the foul trouble because he only had 1 foul. I think that in some ways he misses assignments. And Andrew Jones is really like quick with the hook. Like if Sarr messes up, Julian goes in. If Julian messes up, Sarr goes back in. And there's a lot of that going on with the rotations with the 905. And, Reese just didn't play as much because Sarr was playing so well. That's part of it right there. Jaden Bediako, the walk-on from Brampton, got in for 5 minutes of garbage time at the end of the game. He did not score, but he got 3 rebounds and he caused 1 turnover, but he was a plus 4. Patrick McCaw, Toronto Raptors NBA champion 2019, got in the game for 21 minutes yesterday. 4 points for him on 2 of 4 shooting, misses only 3. 3 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 turnover, 1 steal, 1 block, plus 1 for Pat McCaw, Raptors legend. So, yeah, that's the box score for the Raptors 905. On the other side, can we give any kudos to somebody? Ron Harper Jr. actually was the star for the Maine Celtics. He was an everything, every man kind of guy. It's cool to see former Raptors 905, former Raptor Ron Harper Jr. out there. 23 minutes for him, 16 points, 6 of 10 from the field, 1 of 5 from 3, 2 of 3 from the free throw line, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 turnovers, 2 blocks for old Ron. He was a minus 15 for the game. So, yeah, he was kind of their best player on the court for the Maine Celtics yesterday. But, yeah, really good job by Andrew Jones's team. And in some ways, we beat them in so many categories. We beat them in field goal percentage. We beat them in made threes. We got 13 threes, and they only had 6. So that's a big, huge difference. We shot better at the free throw line than them, 73% to 61. They did out-rebound us by 2 rebounds, but it didn't matter. Assist-to-turnover ratio, they had 21 assists to 22 turnovers, so they had a negative assist-to-turnover ratio. Meanwhile, we were at 37 assists to 12 turnovers, and that's a 3-to-1 assist-to-turnover ratio as a team, and that's really good. 37 assists, 12 turnovers. Raptors 905, you guys are awesome with 11 steals also. The 24 fast break points for the Raptors 905 and 64 points in the paint. Woo-wee! That's a scorcher right there. Good job, Andrew Jones. Another rout, another victory over the Celtics in the G League, and we'll get that 4th one today. And if we win that one today, we've swept them for the season. We will not play them again for the rest of the season. This will be the 4th game against them this whole entire G League seasons, and we'll be 4-0 against the Maine Celtics as long as we beat them today. It's a difficult thing to beat the same team on 2 nights consecutive in the same settings, but the Raptors 905 have been very successful at it so far this season when they've had this kind of situation. So I love it. They get another chance to go out there and do it again tonight to the Maine Celtics. And any fans that are going to the game tonight, enjoy it, just like our friend Guardian Transit. That's right. That's right. Let's go. That's right. Let's see what's going on in here in the chat. Dat Canadian, good morning to you, sir. Hope you're doing very, very well. Infamous is saying this. Salute, freaks. This is a very winnable game. Golden State Warriors are a very bad road team. I believe RJ is playing today on restricted minutes. I checked it on another site. Yeah. I mean, that's what I predicted at the start of the stream, is that I truly believe RJ will be coming back tonight to play for the Raptors this afternoon at 3:30 against the Warriors, and that things will start getting way better now that RJ's coming back. Seriously. He's not an end-all, cure-all, but he definitely starts helping in a lot of different things that we need help with. And you know RJ's like that. He's got us because he's a hometown hero. And I'm ready to see him return to the court because we need him badly. And hopefully this will coincide with causing a lot more people to their anxiety and their weirdness about the Raptors to go down and be all of a sudden, you know what, we're good. I'm not as upset and crazy about what's going on with the Raptors all of a sudden because RJ's back. He could steady us. He could steady the team. He can steady the whole thing. And it probably will be a minutes restriction. You're probably very, very right. Very, very right. Dat Canadian saying maybe we keep RJ out until the half and use his impact in the second half just because of the minutes restriction. Well, they don't have to. They can, they'll start him. It's just that what they'll do is they, depending on how the game goes, they'll put his minutes out there. I'm sure that they can try and flesh out and spread out the minutes in the right way where he can be at the beginning of the game and at the end of the game. It just may be that there's less of him in the middle. So I don't know. We'll just have to see how the game plays out. If the game's close or it's not close, that'll have a lot to do with it. So we'll just have to see how it goes. Either way, we don't know for sure if he is playing for sure exactly, but we're pretty sure he is. We're pretty sure. Jimmy's saying this. Good morning, Jimmy Pope. Losing to the Wizards was a red flag for me, not going to lie, but nonetheless, let's get the dub and hope RJ plays. Yeah, I mean, it's just a game, man. It's one game. And once again, let's not sewer them because it's the Wizards. The Wizards have good, talented players that played very well. And in some ways, you could say it's the Wizards, but you know what? Why would it be any different? You said it's the Cavs. Why would it be any different? They're an NBA team. They have NBA talent, and they're trying to win. And once again, I think that we get too stuck on reputations of franchises, and we get all butthurt when we lose to a team like the Nets or the Wizards or the Hornets, just because of historical buildup of who we think they are. And I think that you guys, we all have to be not so stubborn to not amend our opinions of other teams that we play, that they may get better. and they're going to be tougher. People have been saying this for a couple of years now. The Wizards are going to get better because they have a lot of good young talent. And it makes total sense that they're going to be a tougher team to beat as time goes on. So you can take it as a red flag. I don't. It's just another day in the NBA, and another team beat us because they play better than us. And you can say that's a red flag. You can say it's this or it bugs you or anything like that. But you need to give more credit to the growth of the Washington Wizards team, and maybe not sit in a place that's like the Wizards from 2 years ago or the Wizards even last year, because they're better now. They're better. And you have to give them credit. And if you're going to sewer us more because, oh, it's the Wizards, you can't lose to the Wizards. You can't do that. This team is changing, just like the Hornets. And the Hornets are a much harder team to beat, just like the Wizards at this point. This league is hard. Let's just put it that way. And because the parity is more evened up, well, this is going to happen more and more. And it's not just us that's going to lose to these teams. The other teams in the East will lose to the Hornets and the Wizards more often also. It's just you got to keep the most current edition of the NBA and what's happening with all the teams in your head, and not hold strong to like stereotypes or old things that you think just because this is the way this has been forever. You know, that's part of it right there, man. Right there, Jimmy. I'm telling you. Let's see. That Canadian said, glad I didn't hear Scott Foster's name. Yeah. Yeah. Bill Kennedy is a much better name to hear for this situation today with the ref report. That's right. Isaac's got the RJ Barrett starting 5 right there. Yeah, I wish we could start him at all 5 positions. Nah, we need Scotty in that starting lineup too, and Brandon also, and IQ also. That's right. Fiercey's here. Good morning to Fiercey. Good morning, fam, and happy game day. Golden State Warriors are dysfunctional and streaky. Hopefully, it will play in our favor today. You know, I don't think Steph cares about beating us. Like seriously, I've gone to a few Warriors games in the last 5 years in the arena when they've come to town. And I remember one very specifically, like during the pandemic, a lot of the Warriors would not cross the border to play us. And they come over with half their team and they play us with like their bench guys, and we kick their ass. Seriously. Like our record against Golden State in Toronto is very good. It's very, very good. So there is a lot of favor for us in this game tonight. We just have to show up and play better and do things right and outplay them. But like, you know, in the past, Steph Curry, he can be such a weapon in certain games when he's really trying. But I don't know if it's because he grew up here a bit. I don't know if he has some sort of sentimentality for the Raptors because his dad, Del Curry, played for us and he was in the formative years in middle school playing basketball in Ontario. And there's some sentimentality because I don't feel like Steph has a killer instinct against us completely. Sure, he's an amazing talent. Sure, he's a game changer in the whole sphere of the NBA and the game of basketball. But for some reason, he doesn't have sharp teeth when he comes and plays us, guys. And I'm okay with that. It's all right. Maybe in some ways he does it for Aisha. I don't know, for his wife, who's from Canada, from Toronto. Maybe like, I also speculate this. They played their Christmas game against Dallas, and Golden State beat their ass and got on a plane and came to Toronto. And Steph did Canadian Christmas with his wife's family, over the last couple of days. So, I mean, there's something about that. Seth and Steph, they have a strong connection to the Raptors franchise, not because they played for it, but because their dad did. And there's something to that. I'm telling you right there. There's something to that. Stargate saying this. Unfortunately, Lex, your words will go mostly unheard because most of the type of individuals you're referring to are not people who frequent your channel and are certainly not Raptor freaks. Yeah, I don't even know if they're real people. That's what I'm saying, guys. We got to understand everything online is inauthentic at this point. Everything. Anything somebody says, anything like images, they can all be manufactured and fake at this point. The only thing that's real out there now is in real life when you walk around and talk to people face to face. And maybe even that at some point won't be totally real because of innovation. Like, seriously, you can't trust jack shit that you see online at this point. And it's flooded with just bullshit at this point. And I don't even know if these are people, Stargate, that if they could even come to my stream, they maybe just be programs that are just programmed to put out comments and different dumb things in different places all the time, because that's what a bot farm is. That's what they did politically to shape minds in really fucked up ways and give people like really messed up values and morals because they scared them with their own personal things that they're scared of. Oh no, trans. Oh no, immigrants. And they overhyped all that, and they actually used fear to manipulate people into things that they don't really want. So you can apply this to sports. I think that a lot of this stuff is not actually coming from real people. And if it is coming from people, well, they're immature and they don't know what the fuck they're talking about, is what I would say. Seriously. Stargate saying these are the types of individuals who frequent Zazu spaces, Raptors Digest, amateur hour sports at all. The crossover between your channel and these is minimal at best. I don't know if that's true. I'm sure if you're a Raptors fan and you really want Raptors content, you've come and checked all of us. It's just whether that ball settles in the basket of that particular channel or something like that. I'm sure that I have crossover with all those things you just mentioned. I mean, we know that Cool Cat and Kareem and a bunch of people were in Zazu spaces and have done that for a couple years now. So no, the crossover is there. It's just that I don't know. I'm a drop in the bucket, sure. I don't know how big my reach is. And in some ways, I don't know how many people see me and then they turn it off immediately. But I hope that some people give me a chance and hear me out. But either way, it's not up for me to control that. It's all up to you guys, each individually, as you come across what you see and find, and whether you want to vibe with it or not. I'm a real fan. I'm a fan. I'm not a content creator first. I'm a Toronto Raptors fan first. I'm not doing this YouTube channel to make a lot of money. I'm not doing this YouTube channel to hurt the team. Some people are doing their YouTube channels to hurt the Raptors. And they act like they are for the Raptors, but they are not. Trust me, because their opinions would hurt the team if they did what they wanted them to do. So if there's one place you can trust that my heart is in the right place for the team and what we are trying to do, it's this place right here. That's for sure. And if that's the one thing I've got that stands out compared to everybody else, well, I'll stand with this flag here on that, the We the North flag behind me, saying this is how it is with me. And I'm sorry, your opinions are interesting, but if it doesn't help Bobby in the quest for the second championship, then I'm sorry, you're not for our team. And tanking has never been good for our team. People that are getting mad because they think we should have tanked more in the recent years, you're idiots. You're absolute dumbasses. And you got to have your heart in the right place and understand what's good and healthy for a team to build towards a championship. And some of y'all want quick fixes. Some of y'all are impatient. Some of y'all can't handle failure. Well, you're idiots. You're absolutely the people that should not be telling the Raptors how to do things because you can't even control your own damn emotions. So why the hell should we listen to you tell us how we should run the team when you can't even control your damn emotions? You have no emotional intelligence and you are acting like a bratty little spoiled little kid pouting next to the fountain in the mall on the ground, hitting the ground. A lot of those Raptors fans that are reacting to Washington, to me, that's the image I have in my head of y'all. Seriously. That's the image I have. They lost to the Wizards. Hey! I'd be like, ladies, shut your kid up. Get your kid up off the ground and go feed them or something. Or why don't you, a little corporal punishment or something? Whoop that ass real quick and get that kid back in gear. Seriously. It's annoying hearing your little kid cry all over the place on social media about fire Bobby, fire Darko. Man, you little babies. That's what I'm saying right here. That's right. So the individuals who need these words you speak will likely never hear them, unfortunately. I don't know if they will or not. And in some ways, that's not what matters here, Stargate. Let's talk it into existence. May all the individuals out there that need to hear me speak, hear me today. How about that? We don't know. We could. Some of them could come in here and have an epiphany and be like, holy shit, this guy, I need to watch him more. I think that I can tell that he would help me with rooting for the Raptors in a more healthy way and not so toxic. So maybe I do need this guy. Some of this stuff is like, look, the criticizing of the Raptors is a safe, easy place for people to talk and get out a lot of negativity in an outlet. Some of it is that they have really bad things going on in their lives. Maybe they're in a bad relationship. Maybe they hate their job. Maybe they're in a very, very bad situation, like that's threatening them, and they're angsty and they're upset, and they just need to lash out somehow, some way. And this is their healthy outlet. Sometimes people talking bad about the Raptors are alcoholics or drug addicts, and they just went on a binge the night before, and they're just talking out their ass because they're hungover and their body feels like shit. That's half of it sometimes too. Because I know I was an alcoholic active that drank a lot and watched Raptors games, and I'd get up the next day and after a loss and I'd be hungover, I'd be acting all grumpy and surly and pissed off, and it's mostly because I was damaging my body over drinking the night before. And it wasn't even about the Raptors, it was about how I felt physically because I was abusing my body with alcohol. There's a lot of that in what's going on with Raptors Nation too. Let's get real with ourselves. You can go look in the mirror and tell yourself, "Oh, I'm really mad at the Raptors," or are you mad at yourself because you let yourself down because you got stupid drunk and you fell off the wagon once again. There's a lot more stories intertwined with people's opinions about the Raptors. It's usually something in their own lives that makes them dysfunctional to the point where they have to go off like this and have an outlet that's toxic like this. Seriously. We gotta open our eyes to this. That's right. G saying, yes, have my eyes on Degenhart. That's right. G was big on Degenhart in the chat yesterday. G was another RFF in the chat with us on YouTube Canada, watching the game. And I hope he'll be there again tonight. Yeah, Degenhart's fun. Let's see him build on the game tonight for sure. Fiercely saying this. Don't forget to vote for Scotty and Brandon. That's right. Every day, guys. Every day. All-star voting is in full effect for the NBA. Vote for Chris Paul. Vote for Chris Paul. I'm voting a lot for Dylan Brooks this time. Every ballot I put in is for Dylan Brooks. That man's averaging 20 points for the Phoenix Suns, and he is a valid all-star contender. And most of the NBA, a lot of people hate him because he's the villain Dylan, and he's versus LeBron. And it's hilarious seeing him trying to high five LeBron at the free throw line and his staring off into space. One of my, I love this. This was a bucket list for me. One time, the Rockets came to town, and Dylan does his pregame stare off into space. Well, I just happened to be sitting in a chair in the audience where he was looking at, and I stared with him. I stared right back at him, and I didn't move the whole time. And it was like, man, being locked in the stare down with Dylan Brooks pregame, that's a rite of passage. That was on my bucket list. I want to be in a lockdown stare down with Dylan Brooks like he does before the game. And I did too. I was like, man, don't blink, Lex. Don't blink. Don't blink. Stare down Dylan Brooks. Do it. Do it. I'm just saying, vote for Dylan Brooks, a great Canadian, a villain Dylan, a guy who's actually a viable all-star this year because of what he's doing. And the Suns are pretty good. So, yeah, vote for your Canadians. Vote for Jamal Murray. Vote for Jamal Murray, who's never been an all-star, and that's a travesty. And he deserves to be on the all-star team this year. That's what I'm saying. So don't forget to vote. Thank you, Fiercey, for the reminder. Isaac Campbell's got the lobsters out. He's got 5 lobsters. We took those green lobsters and put them in the pot, the bowl, and we turned those green lobsters into red lobsters. And red lobsters is seafood lover in you. That's right. Go get the crackers. Go get the hot butter and start cracking them open and start eating that lobster. So good. So good. We had Chef Degenhart, Chef Sar, Chef Tyreek, Chef Elijah. They were all adding their ingredients to the mix to make that that lobster cooked so good, boiled so good last night, and tastes so sweet with a rout victory over the Maine Celtics, the Maine Lobsters. That's right. That's right. I love it. I love it. I love it. Isaac is really trying to win this dunk competition. And I didn't give him any dunks last night. I was going to, but he in some ways, I don't feel it's right to do it without Kareem present because I want them to have a sporting chance. And well, we'll just see. Maybe you can. You have to make me really, really laugh. And I guess some of the dunks you expected from dunking lobsters into hot boiling water, you're not going to get right now because those jokes were from before. So you have to be innovative right now, Isaac. You've got the lead though right now. If I'm looking at the dunk lead right now, you, my guy, are up 350 to 342. So you have an 8-point lead on Kareem currently to win the dunk championship before the end of the year when New Year's Eve countdown finishes. That's when the clock is out. That's right. Stargate saying, I've said minimal, not non-existent. There's a difference. There's a difference. Yeah. And he said, oh, I wish a lot of these individuals hear you. Trust me. I would love you to have an actual debate with Pensare or one of these other YouTubes so you can school them. Yeah. I mean, I don't know, man. In some ways, it's like, this is my venue. This is my forum. Come and talk to me here. Come and talk in here. If I set up something with somebody, I don't know. I don't really want to do it. In some ways, I don't even want to give the time of day to certain content makers anymore because they, just disappointed me. Or also, it's just like I don't even see the point at this point. Because like, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna come in there. I'm gonna argue with them. I may make some good points, but some of them may be so up their ass that it doesn't make any difference. You know. Either way, man, that's the whole thing. I'm not trying to do this channel to fit everybody, and I appreciate the people that do enjoy this channel and stick with it and watch it. That's all. That's all. I mean, in some ways, I get what you're saying, Stargate. You know what I would say? If you guys want to help me, introduce me to those people. It doesn't look good when I come in and say, "Hey guys, look at my YouTube channel. Come and see my YouTube channel." If you guys want more of these people to see me, go and take me to them and say, "Guys, you guys are idiots. You need to watch this guy." And do that. I'm sure a lot of you guys already do this. I'm sure you do. G saying this: Alvarado really connected on a punch to Williams. Which Williams? Vucevic and Giannis had words. It was a chippy night. Yeah, I saw a couple of the clips. I don't mind Giannis doing that windmill slam in Chicago, but I can see where people would feel like that is disrespectful. I don't know. I don't know about that. I mean, in some ways, he's a star, and he was giving entertainment to the Chicago crowd at the end of the game. But maybe, yeah, that's not entertaining. We lost. We don't like you, Giannis, so don't do that. I thought that was kind of silly. I thought that was kind of silly. This wasn't like the Tristan Thompson thing that happened last year, as far as I'm concerned. And to me, it was just a playful, like right at the end of the game, I'm just going to try and show off a little bit of a windmill dunk. And, fans come to the games for dunks. So I don't know. I don't, Giannis, I'm not like the biggest Giannis fan, but I respect him. And I think he's an amazing player in person. In some ways, I think this was stupid. And like Bulls, if you didn't like it, make sure you win the game. How about that? How about that? The other thing, Alvarado swung on somebody, and it was a center, right? And he's a little guy. And there's a funny clip of Jordan Poole reacting to it, where he's like, "Whoa, Grand Theft Alvarado swung on some people." Yeah, it was a little chippy last night. That's what I heard. That's what I heard. All right, let me get into my tabs. Let's keep going with the stream here. Let's see. What else do I got on here? Let's do the Instagram stories. Lindsey Dunn at the court side for the 905 last night was filmed by a fan, filming her and saying, "There's Lindsay interviewing Olivier Sarr at halftime at the Paramount Fine Food Center." Andrew Jones with some of the posts from yesterday, 125-92. What a great finishing score. Fantastic stuff. Get that dub. And there he is coming in the locker room after the game, putting the chain on Olivier. He got the chain for the second time this season. This is the second time Olivier's gotten the chain. So, yeah, good job by the big Frenchman. And, well, let's build off of this, my guy. You really want to make it into the next level? Well, you got to be consistent and show that you can hold this level of play over some games is what I'm saying right there. So good job. Yeah. They came out with a new open gym yesterday, guys. It was they've been doing like these little 11-minute clip half episodes. Then they did a holiday episode, which centered around Scotty and Jamal Shedd's cannonballer experience with the ballet company, and also the Covenant House visit by Grady, Jameson, Garrett, and Colin last week to give back to the community. NBA Cares. Yeah, that was a cool little clip. And we heard from Garrett Temple's wife, Kara. She spoke a lot on the latest Open Gym, talking about family and the Raptors and how they interact, and how they had a Christmas event at the practice facility or the practice court in the arena for the kids of the Raptors. And we see Darko's son and Gaga in the footage. Darko's son having a lot of fun with Santa. And also the Temple kids were there, and other kids around the Raptors team. And it looked like a fun little event. So a couple of different things there. We also got confirmation from Scotty that he was really enjoying being in the Nutcracker, that they both were describing it as their acting debuts, which is cool. Shed was like, when they asked the two of them, which one of you is going to be the shy one, and which one of you is going to be the one that's all ready? And Shed immediately said, Scotty gets to choose. This is classic, like, hierarchy franchise player stuff in an NBA team. So I'll be whatever Scotty doesn't want to be. And of course, Scott wanted to be the one who was boisterous and ready to fight, and Shed was the more timid, shy one. And they, you see them going over the stage direction, like, Shed, you're going to fall over, and Scotty has to catch you, and he'll drag you across the stage. It's pretty cool to see the inside stuff on that. And obviously, Scotty's like, he's like getting his Broadway debut. And, they really did enjoy it. I think both of them immensely enjoyed that experience. And we see footage of Bobby Webster in the crowd watching as the GM. I'm sure Bobby's there watching the Nutcracker to make sure that these guys ain't cracking nothing in any kind of way that's bad that would be harmful to the Raptors. But yeah, they fantastic experience. You can really tell that both Barnes and Shed extremely enjoyed like that experience and adding that to their resume. The way Shed saying it is like, this is my acting debut. Like he's going forward and he's going to be looking for more acting in the future. And we know Scotty's love for stage is there, and him being a whole part of it. Like you could see him walking around in the back of the stage and seeing how the whole thing is in the back. And he just looked like a kid in a candy store, just like, oh, wow, like looking around and seeing what it's like in the back behind the scenes at a stage show. So very, very cool open gym. Once again, the only problem with open gym is it's too short. And give us our half-hour episodes. Come on, guys. Come on, guys. Be right. Give us half-hour episodes. But yeah, the holiday episode's cool. And of course, those guys giving back at Covenant House, fantastic stuff. Keep doing it. That's right. There's some things that are more important than basketball. And these guys get it. These guys get it. Let's see what else we got on the Instagram stuff. There's Eugene Oberoi doing stuff in Baskonia in Spain with his team, playing in Eurobasket over there right now, Eugene. Let's see. Who else do we have on the list? Zach Eady has got Macaulay Culkin walking down the street with a bunch of money with the wet bandits chasing him. That's weird. That's a weird one. Zach Eady, hope you're good. You had a good holiday, my guy. There's Emmanuel Quickly coming into the game with a nice jacket on. Yeah, a style fit there. There's Wubbs. Wubbs has a message for us. Jacoby Walters saying this: stay steady, never too high, never too low, spread joy, love God. There's some words of wisdom from Jacoby. He had a better game on Friday with his patience and his offense. And maybe that's the message he figured out is like, look, I just got to stay steady and never too high, never too low, and don't go too fast. If you rush it, you're going to mess up more if you take your time and do it right with the pump fake. I think that's the lesson he's learned in the last couple of days. So good job, Jacoby. Yeah, with your fit. All right, there's your Instagram stories for today as far as things with what's going on with them. Love seeing the open gym episode that came out yesterday. That was a lot of fun, man. A lot of fun. Stargate saying, Lex, some of them need to be checked for real. Yeah, I don't know, man. Either way, my responsibility isn't to every single person. How do you do that? My responsibility is to just do what I do every day. And if they find me, they find me. If they don't, they don't. I can't stay awake at night thinking about this. In some ways, I can be a voice in the chorus, and hopefully some people will hear my voice louder than other voices in the chorus, and we can only hope for that. That's all. I'll try and sing as loud as I can. How about that, Stargate? I'll try and sing as loud as I can. Stargate saying Gaga is a lawyer, right? Yeah. Yeah, it's really interesting, the story about Gaga, that she had a very promising law career, and she gave it all up for Darko and his coaching career, which is kind of crazy, guys. Because, if you're looking at what's a more stable profession, as far as, maybe even earning power, the lawyer job would probably maybe be better. But this is the thing. If they have established roots and stuff like that, is she able to take the bar exam here and practice law here in Canada? I don't know. But they did. They made a very early decision in their relationship that they would pivot towards helping Darko become what he's become. So in some ways, the sacrifices of the Rajakovic family for Darko to get to this point as a head coach in the NBA are profound and deep, because his wife gave up her career to a degree to help him have his career. And we need to realize that, people that are frivolously saying fire Darko. Well, do you understand that his wife gave up a lawyer a career in some ways? Like, she's probably still done it to a degree in different ways that she can, but it wasn't like the priority in the family like Darko's job was. So, people are so stupid. They don't understand the travel of what Darko did to get to this point to be the coach of the Raptors. This is not a flash in the pan. This is just not some jabroni from Serbia who just showed up and got the job. This is a man who worked towards this job for 30 years to get to this point, to do this. And it started with teaching kids in Serbia how to play basketball. And then it went to Spain, to the EuroLeague, and started coaching there. And he had to go to university to learn coaching in Spain because that's the prerequisite. If you want to be a coach in the Spanish league, you have to go to coaching school and study like a university course to become eligible, to just to be eligible to coach in Spain. And then, he made the trip overseas to the United States, started off really working with the Spurs organization and bounced around. And, he was in Phoenix, he was in Oklahoma City, he was in Memphis, and he coached the G League. He's earned his stripes. He's earned this opportunity to be here. In fact, like I said, I've heard the name Darko Rajakovic since the Chris Bosh era, guys. This is not a new name that I just heard in the last 5 years. I remember hearing his name way back then in around 2007, 2008, because he was a young assistant coach hotshot at that point that everybody's like, wow, this Darko guy, he's something. He's going to be a head coach someday. And I just forgot about it. And then when the coach's search came around after we fired Nick, when his name came up, I was like, oh, that name, I remember that name. Wait, this dude, oh, yeah. You got to understand, there's interest. He was going to become an NBA head coach for some team, and we just got him right when he ripened before anybody else. The Nets could have hired him instead of Jordy if we hadn't hired him. Somebody was going to hire Darko. He was on his way. And, that's the thing. People don't realize how much is put into it and how much they build up to it. And they're just casuals. They just don't understand. They just don't understand. Adrian Griffin, you think about his path and how much he worked so hard to be an assistant coach and to get his first head coaching job and then to have that happen to what happened to him in Milwaukee. That is so messed up. And that was not fair. The man had that team at the top of the East and he still got fired. It's a fickle, mean-ass world. And Raptors fans that don't support our coach and understand his journey and what has been sacrificed to get him to this point, in some ways, your opinions need to be informed by that kind of stuff. And understand that this dude is a really good coach, and your casual takes on him just because they lost the Wizards on Friday are very much casual. Let's just put it that way. Yeah. Isaac's saying this. How am I supposed to lob a dunk to the Kareem of the crop when he ain't even here? I'm just going to assume that he's out in the yard working on his patch of grass. I'm going to assume he's at Denny's because it is Sunday morning, right? And Denny's seems to be that thing. I don't know. You want to lob him a lob? All right, we'll do that. We're going to lob him a lob. I'm going to give him a lob right now, even if he's not here. Why not? You just have very good aim, and you can throw it very far. So we'll throw a lob to Kareem. 345 on the charts. So now it's a 5-point lead. You've bridged the gap a bit. Yeah, you must have thrown that ball real far. Ottawa to Denny's and Mississauga is where you threw it, and it hit the table, and the grand slam went slammed. Bam. That's crazy, man. No swearing Sunday. I already did call me crazy. I knew you were going to come in here and say it. I've been cussing at bad people on Reddit. I'm not going to do no Reddit reactions because it's a mess. Seriously, I'm going to go in there. I'll read some of the titles on here. Here's some of the titles that Reddit is talking about right now. I'm not going to read what they have to say, just the titles. It's time to admit Grady Dick is a bust. That's horrible. I'm not. See, Mr. Quasimodo came in and gave me a message after on the comments. He said, what you guys are saying about Grady is so disheartening. It's not a good omen or something like that. He said something like that. Man, I'm rooting for Grady. I want Grady to get it together. I want Grady to kick so much ass and get his NBA career back. Seriously, I am not trying to get him out of the league. I want to be wrong on him. I seriously do. I support and love Grady. And I want Grady to be the best Grady he can be going forward for the rest of the season. I want him to achieve everything he wants to achieve in his dreams. I really do. I want all the Raptors to be successful. Elijah, IQ, all of them, RJ, Scotty, Brandon, Jakob, Colin, Chucky Hepburn, AJ Lawson, Jamison Battle, Garrett Temple. I want all of them, Sandro Mamu. I want all of them to be successful. I don't root against my team like some people do. I don't root for them to downfall and have a humiliation. No, I don't. That's fake fans. That's casual fans. I'm rooting for you, Grady. I want you to show everybody who you are. Oshai Abaji, too. That's right. Here we go. Here's another post on Reddit. A 7-foot problem, 5 years in the making, a timeline of the Raptors center troubles. It's interesting. This guy goes off and lists all the history of basically since Serge and Mark. I've talked about this on the channel. I guess maybe they get inspired. There's like, okay, we'll talk about all the center troubles. I still think there's double secret probation on our franchise that we're not allowed to have centers. And that's the biggest problem right here. It isn't anything to do with the GMs. It isn't anything to do with anything other than the NBA is secretly not allowing us to have a full depth at center position for some reason because they know it will hold us back and make us not as easy to be successful. And Masai and Bobby have taken the challenge and silently been working against it, and none of us know this. What if that is true, Raptors fans? And y'all have just added to the misery and the frustratingness about it, and they can't do a jack shit about it because the NBA won't let them. You know, seriously, how would y'all feel about all the stuff you said about the front office, about the center stuff, if you realized this was secretly something they were having to deal with that you had no idea they have to deal with? Seriously. And some people say, that's crazy, Lex. Why would the league do that to us? Well, why would they limit us from which draft picks we can get? Why would they do this to us? Why would they do that for us? They've done a lot of shady shit to the Toronto Raptors and the Vancouver Grizzlies to hold them down and to not let them be successful. They wanted us to be bottom feeders. They wanted us to be teams that got beat by all the other NBA teams on the regular. They wanted us to be the Wizards. And that's the thing. We've gone above and beyond against obstacles, against not having privilege in this league like other teams do. And we've been successful still. And that's like some of those very strong, very amazing, successful people in the world today in society that have the same kind of things where they have barriers that they have to leap over instead of red carpets that they get to just grace and glide over like some other people. I'm just saying. Could that be true? Because nobody's so stupid that they can't fix a center problem over 5 years. I think that there's some problem there, guys. Seriously. Yeah. All right. Let's see. Is anything else? I don't even want to talk about anything else from there. It's stupid. All right. Let's see. Is there any breaking news right now? No breaking news on there. All right, guys. Let's do the straight goods on Canadian goods. We're not actually pushing a Canadian good today. This is a Scottish good. If it's not Scottish, it's crap. And it's Nairns. Nairns is a cookie company out of Scotland that grows oats. They grow a lot of oats over in the Scottish Isles. And, it was started by in Strathaven, Lancashire, by John and Sarah Name. And they basically take really good, high-quality oats from the countryside of Scotland, and they make these oat cookies. And this is a blueberry raspberry oat cookie here. This is a chocolate chip oat cookie. And this is a ginger oat cookie. I've got 3 different types. But yeah, this is Scottish made and imported to Canada. It's not American in any kind of way. So you're supporting an import from Scotland. So if you want to support Scotland and buy good cookies, oat cookies, they're actually good for you too. They're very GMO free. They're gluten free. And they actually have probiotics in them that actually help your gut health also. So they're not just like a treat. They can be actually good for your health. So Nairns, if you see the Nairns brand in the grocery store, know that this is from Scotland. And, it's better than buying American cookies. That's all I'll say right there. So Nairns right there. Nairns. Nairns. All right, let's see. Isaac's saying, I bet that Celtics fan that served us at the NBA restaurant is serving Kareem at Denny's now. And he's still wearing the Celtics jersey. That could be a funny little episode there. That's kind of like an add-on scene at the end of that episode from when we were there. Yeah, then they show him out in Mississauga wearing the Celtics jersey still. And Kareem says the same thing as me. And he has to leave also. And his wife's like, why do we have to leave? We just have to. Trust me. And, Kareem's wife is kind of playing the Tom Duke role. That would be hilarious. That'd be hilarious, man. That'd be a weird callback. Stargate saying, after you said it, I think there is something to that theory about Grady. You mentioned yesterday, Lex, the extra muscle on his arms has screwed up his shot and he has to adjust. Makes lots of sense. Well, we've seen this historically with young shooters that come in the league and they have to bulk up to play better defense and be more physical with the league. They may lose their shooting touch a bit because they have more strength in their arms and they have to adjust. I mean, we've seen this with different players over the years. This isn't the first time with Grady. I thought you were going to say that my theory about the center stuff is you think that there's something to that, but you're talking about the Grady thing. Yeah. I mean, that there's an adjustment. You put more muscle on your arms, the distance is different because you have different strength. And in some ways, you have to recalibrate where that ball is going to zero in the laser. And that may be a big part of what's going on with Grady's struggles this season. It's because he really has bulked up his arms and his shoulders a lot bigger than the years before. So once again, I'll say this, Grady, you just play like your ass off. You hustle play. Your shots will come at some point. But if you're productive to us because you're being a shit disturber and you're getting out on the court and you're knocking loose balls free and deflecting stuff, you're getting rebounds, you're getting in passing lanes and causing fast break opportunities. This is all good stuff. And you can do all this without making your three. And you notice, like what happened in the last game, Grady, when you go all out like that, Darko leaves you in. He doesn't take you out immediately after one little stint. He actually leaves you in for a double stint when you're playing with effort and getting after it, getting on the floor, going after loose balls, staving balls from out of bounds, going in, causing the first part of a deflection that leads into a steal. All this stuff is really good. And you can do this consistently, whether your shot's going down or not. That is your key to getting through all of this right now, your slump. This is it right there. That's right. That's it. G's saying, yes, added muscle can change shooting. Arms are heavier too, and fatigue sets in quicker as well. You're carrying more body weight and running up and down. Yeah. I mean, this seems like this is all partly valid, right? That's partly valid. All right, guys, let's do the classic card. We are kind of moving through the stream pretty quick here. I have no problem with that. In some ways, it's like, hey, we can talk ad nauseum about needing centers and Grady Dick's issues, but what is we covering any new ground? That's what we need to find new ground. That's what we're doing here, right? Okay, we'll do this card, even though this guy's a jabroni. We'll do this card today. All right, classic card of the day. Full name answer. First person to write it in gets the classic card points for today. Here's the jabroni of the day. He's a jabroni. Yeah. We had Malachi a couple days ago, so this is a jabroni to me. If you know who this is, if you don't know who this is, that's kind of impressive. It's kind of interesting. He does wear his dad's number. That is not right. That is not right, Fiercey. That's hilarious that that's who you said. Fiercey, that's so funny. It's so funny. She said that. That's hilarious. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Full name answer, Stargate. You don't get it. You're gonna get and that's not the right answer. That's what are you guys doing? You guys are like this is what y'all are doing right now. This is the equivalent of coming up to the basket and missing like layups. It's like, and then it rims out. That was Fiercey. And then Stargate half shot it. And then Neil went backwards. So, yeah, we're giving it to Isaac Campbell. It's Austin Rivers, the son of Doc Rivers, not Austin Reeves of the Lakers. It's Austin Rivers. And Isaac got it correctly first out of you guys. And Reeves, Austin, what is that? That's right. Hey, it's all good. Austin Rivers, of course, came out recently and said some xenophobic things about Canada. Really dumb stuff. He didn't need to do it, but he did it, jabroni. But yeah, in some ways it made me realize just how dumb he is. And Doc, you're probably way smarter than your son, is what I'm going to say. You're probably way smarter than your son. All right, we're going to give you 100 points for that, Isaac. 100-point card for Isaac Campbell on the classic card for Austin Rivers. Guys, happy birthday to former assistant coach of the Toronto Raptors, Joe Harrington. Joe Harrington is turning 80 today. That's a big milestone birthday. Happy 80th birthday to assistant coach Joe Harrington. He coached with the Raptors in 1998 to 2000. He was an assistant coach on our bench during the early Vince era. Yeah, he was there with Tracy and Antonio Davis and Charles Oakley in that era around then. So happy 80th birthday to Joe Harrington, former assistant coach of the Toronto Raptors. He's from Maine. He went to Maryland as a college player and played for the Terrapins. And he played. He didn't really play a whole lot other than college, but he coached a lot in university. He was the Colorado head basketball coach for a while for Colorado, and also he coached at Long Beach State, George Mason, and Hofstra. So yeah, happy birthday, 80th birthday to Joe Harrington, former Toronto Raptors assistant coach. That's right. We're that in depth. We're giving happy birthdays to assistant coaches. It's pretty cool. Yeah. Stargate saying, knowing Doc, he probably scolded him for saying what he did. Yeah, I'm sure he did. Doc's probably like, why'd you do that, Austin? You're stupid. You're stupid. Why would you say that? That's so dumb. Doc Rivers is a smart guy. And, when he's in interviews and stuff, he's always had glowing things to say about Toronto and the Raptors. It's like he's not a hater. In some ways, he's a guy who respects, different things. And he likes the city of Toronto. I can tell. Doc has been very much on. He may be jokey around like some things, but for the most part, he respects our city and our country very much. And I wish his son did. Seriously, his son's kind of a goofball for that. All right, let's see. We're gonna wrap it up, guys. Are we done with the comments? And I got everything done. All right, well, let's go back to what we're doing. Injury report for the Raptors today. Latest lineup news. Colin Murray Boyles is questionable for today due to his illness. Jakob is out for sure. He will not be playing today. And Barrett is actually questionable too, and he could play today. So we're speculating that RJ Barrett will return to the Raptors lineup finally today on a minutes restriction. Hopefully we'll see him play. That's what we want. We got to start the process of him coming back. And well, even if he doesn't play the full game or the full minutes, his minutes restriction could be 25 minutes, guys. And he still plays a good, huge chunk of the game. I could see that. On the other side of things for the Warriors, they do have injuries also. Their injuries are as such. Seth Curry is out today for sure. LJ Cryer is day-to-day. DeAnthony Melton is out for sure. And Brandon Pods is day-to-day probable with an abdomen problem also. So, yeah, the referees for the G League game later tonight, we got the Maine Celtics in a second game of a double game visit with the Paramount Fine Food Center and the Raptors 905. The referees are Castine Evans, Eric Alig, and Kelsey Reynolds. And for the Raptors game today, 3:30 is the tip-off at Scotiabank Arena, afternoon game. Bill Kennedy is our crew chief. He favors the Raptors. Justin Van Dyne is the referee. He favors the Warriors. And Jenna Schroeder is the umpire. She favors the Raptors. Also, all three of the refs, their record with the Raptors this season cumulatively is 3-0. We have a 3-0 record under these refs so far this year, just so you guys know. All right, my keys to the victory, the plan, the win. Well, let's get RJ back, hopefully. If we can, let's make a team effort, meaning we need more guys. Once again, I'm keying on this really big right now, that the way to win these days is to have more players contributing to winning on your team. And it doesn't have to all be scoring. If you have a guy who's just rebounding really well, if you have a guy who's playing extremely good defense, we just need more guys to step up in winning ways to help the team cumulatively have more winning ways than the other side. So let's say the other side, we limit Steph, but other guys go off, but there's not many of the other guys, and we have more of our guys go off and do good things. We can win. Now, like I said, the history of the Warriors in Toronto has not been good pretty much since the championship that year, 2019. I think the Warriors have maybe won once in Toronto since then. Seriously, you can go look at the records and you can see that. So there is some evidence of Raptors doing very well against Golden State at home. And I think that you guys have said, yeah, they have dysfunction right now, and they are not totally the best road team either. So, yeah, we should have a good chance to win today. And hopefully a win against the Warriors will be more powerful than a loss to the Wizards, and Raptors Nation will learn to grow up in some ways after that. That's right. Yeah. Isaac's saying we just play better with a Canadian on the floor. That's all. Maybe. That might be true, actually. Stargate saying finally we get Bill as a ref. Yeah, this will be the second time we've had him. We had him already this year, and we won that game. Let's see. We've had him once, and we've had Justin twice, and we won both the games Justin was reffing. Jenna seems to like us, especially Scotty. Yeah, I don't think that's true. I've never picked up on that. You may be confusing Jenna Schroeder with a different ref that likes Scott. I don't remember this. Jenna's not a good ref for us. She's in the Murat Kugat area. of the spreadsheet for ref report. She is down there. She, like I said, you weren't here for the percentages, Stargate. You didn't hear them. Like Jenna Schroeder's percentage with us is not that good, man. She's the worst ref for us, but she's worse for the Warriors. Yeah, we win 37% of our games with Jenna, and they win 36. So it's just barely better. But like I said, she's down there with Marat Kugat, CJ Washington. She's below Scott Foster and Tony Brothers and those guys, Ed Malloy. So yeah, she's not a good ref for us. And I've never picked up on her liking Scotty for some reason. Never seen that. Yeah, you might be mistaken. It may be a different ref you're thinking. I think that Ashley likes him. Ashley Moyer, maybe. I'm trying to remember who it is. I really don't pay attention to that kind of stuff completely. I know Tony Brothers likes Scotty. I know that. I know that. Tony Brothers has a respect for Scotty Barnes. And, I think Scott Foster built a respect for Scotty after throwing him out that one game. In the games I've seen with Scott Foster and Scotty, to an extent, there is a little bit more respect since. So, all right. Anyway, guys, I'll be out now. Yeah. I hope you guys have a great Sunday afternoon. The doubleheader of basketball ahead of us on a cold, snowy Sunday after the last Sunday of the year. And hopefully we can get that double W. And we'll be talking about it tomorrow on the stream, reacting to both the games tomorrow on a Monday morning. All right. I hope you guys have a great day. Let's go, Raptors. Let's not mess around. You guys need to play very good and stop playing sloppy and playing dumb where you lose the game over dumb stuff, because we need this win bad. Trust me. Raptors fans are really kind of in a weird place where they think that it's like everything's so bad with us right now when it isn't. So give them some evidence that things are fine, because honestly, there's a lot of people overreacting right now that really aren't understanding basketball and the ebbs and flows of the season. These are the same people that get worried when there's runs in the game that are weird, and they don't understand that basketball is a game of runs in the game, and it's also a game of runs in your season with wins and losses. And we just got to get things right. Once again, the big picture is the Raptors have a very good above 4 games, above 500 record right now, which is way better than the last couple of years. And you got to keep it all in perspective. So we're not going to win everything. And people that think we're just going to win everything, well, go watch 905. Then you can watch them win everything. That's what I say right there, man. Raptors need to fall in the plan. No, we don't. We're going to be a playoff team. We're going to be a playoff team, and we're going to get home court advantage too. I think where we're sitting is going to be very similar to where we're going to be. And some of these other teams, like, we're going to be, I think we'll be the 4th seed. I think we're going to be where we are. Seriously. Yeah. Let's see. Stargate saying we're still over 500. What are they complaining about? I know they're spoiled ass little temper tantrum little babies is what they are. People are complaining about the Raptors right now. You're spoiled ass little babies. We're above 500. We're in the 4th seed of the Eastern Conference. And you guys are not opening your eyes and looking at the reality. Just because you see a trend right now where you think that we're worse, well, RJ's back today, hopefully, and you'll see that trend reverse. You'll see that trend reverse today. All right, y'all. Have a great day. I appreciate everybody watching the channel. I'll be back tomorrow, 9:30 a.m. Raptorize your day. Just be good, Raptors fans. Be a fan. Realize what your job title is. You're a fan. You're not the GM. You're not the coach. You don't know better than these people. And you guys talking out your ass with all this kind of bullshit around what you think the Raptors should do in this, just because they lost the Wizards on Friday, a team that was very good, a team that shot very well, and maybe had one of their best games of the season. You run up against a team that's absolutely in the zone and playing really well like that, well, you can lose to that. And it doesn't matter if it's the Washington Wizards. And you guys can overreact all day about it, and it sounds so stupid to me, because it's the NBA and only one team wins, and sometimes you're not the better team. And just because it's the Wizards, you put more weight into it, like, oh, they're so bad. It's stupid, man. It's stupid. This guy's saying J-Rock. Who's this J-Rock guy? Raptors need to draft Hannes, Steinbach, or LeBaron Fillin. I don't know who those people are. I don't give a shit who they are. I'll study them next year when we get ready for the draft. I don't watch college. I'm not a tank person, and none of this fucking shit that we talk about on this channel has nothing to do with tanking. Tanking people are losers. And if that's their mentality, well, get over yourself. Because honestly, this league is being built against tanking. Adam Silver hates tanking. And anybody who thinks it's a viable solution, you're dumbasses. It never was. The Philadelphia 76ers are the evidence all you need to see. They were the most tanking team in the history of the NBA. And what has that gotten them? So tell me, oh, we need to do this to get these guys. I don't give a shit. We need to win. We need to play our best, and we need to do whatever, and we'll fall wherever we are at the end of the game, the season. We won't need ping pong balls because we won't be in the lottery because we're going to be a playoff team. And yeah, we don't need anybody to come save us. We need to get better, get healthier as a team and a young core, and that's all we need. We got Brandon, we got all these other guys on this team, and the Raptors are a way better team than they played recently, and they will get it back on track. Trust me. All right, let's go, Raptors. Watch these teams get W's today. Double W victory day. That's what we're hoping for, Raptor Freaks. Let's go beat Golden State and the Maine Celtics today. Woo!